Welcome to Franchise Marketing Radio, brought to you by SeoSamba. Comprehensive high-performing marketing solutions for mature and emerging franchise brands. To supercharge your franchise marketing, go to SeoSamba.com. That's SeoSamba.com.
Lee Cantor here, another episode of Franchise Marketing Radio, and this is going to be a fun one. Today on the show, we have Richard Huffman with Celebree School. Welcome, Richard.
Thanks, Lee.
Well, I am excited to learn what you're up to. Tell us a little bit about Celebree. How are you serving folks?
So Celebree School is preschool services. Average Celebree School is about 150 students, and ranging from infants, toddlers, twos, all the way through school age.
So what's the backstory? How did this come about, the school and the franchise?
Well, the schools came about 27 years ago. I'm also the founder of Celebree School. 27 years ago, I was 26 years old and got my first opportunity to open my first school, and opened the first school in 1994. Then fell in love with it, opened our second location in 1996. And I knew after that second location, Lee, that this is what I wanted to dedicate my life to, and been doing it ever since.
So at 26, what was kind of the genesis of saying, hey, I'm going to start a school? Because most 26-year-olds, I don't think, have that thought pattern.
Well, I was fortunate enough to have parents, my mom and dad, who had a preschool and still have it currently today. So I grew up in watching it from a distance as a child, and later as I became a young adult, working in it, not as a teacher, but as the janitor, because my brother and I were only allowed to go there after the business was closed. But then in 1994, I was given the opportunity by my parents to start my own school. And I always tell everybody that I believe that I was the first Celebree franchisee, being guided and supported and mentored by my parents.
Now, what did you see differently that other people saw about what a preschool or early education could be, or these child care centers could be that other people maybe didn't see?
I think from a very young age, Lee, I've always had the thought process or the philosophy of how do we improve, like constant, never-ending improvement. And when this industry, when I was first brought into this industry or got into the industry, it was number one, it was more of a low-paying position. I know our school directors were called daycare directors, and our teachers were called daycare workers. And so I set out on a journey to change that whole perception of what these folks do and the meaning behind it. I mean, they have a huge impact on our society and helping these little ones prepare to enter into kindergarten. And as we all know, 0 through 5 years old is a child's most critical age of development. So I was excited to be a part of that and change that whole perspective of the industry. And I think Celebree has done an amazing job of doing that throughout the last 27 years.
Now, did the business have to change in order for it to become a franchise? Because when it's a family-owned business and everybody is kind of there as family members participating, that's one thing. But then to make something that can be scaled and replicated is a little different. Did you have to make any changes in order to become a franchise?
It's funny because I think timing is everything, and I think what's the old saying? The teacher will appear when the student's ready, and I think there's and when the opportunity will present itself when the student is ready. So, as over the last 26 years, we've worked very hard, as I mentioned, on process and procedures, and how do we improve the operational components of a really well-run school. How do we improve the processes and how we go about hiring teachers, and how do we coach and develop them, and how do we pour into them, either, through putting them on individual growth plans and putting them on a skill plan to make them a better teacher and give them the proper resources to be a great 4-year-old teacher, and also, put them on a career path. So if they just don't want to be a 4-year-old teacher, which is fine, they want to grow, how do we put them on a path that will put them in a position to grow with inside the organization and just grow as a person? And then how do we improve the brand? So, our top 3 priorities that's really Celebree's built on is, how do we improve operations? How do we improve our talent? And how do we improve our brand? So over the last 27 years, we've done that. We've done that amazingly. So March of 2019, we were thinking, how are we going to expand? We have 26 schools that we own and operate. We have these amazing process and procedures in place. We have built the incredible team behind us. Maybe it's time now to share that with others and share with others what I've been experiencing for the last 27 years and in an industry that I think is second to none in so many ways.
Now, the timing of that is interesting because that was the beginning of COVID. Right. So that probably left a mark, I guess. Can you talk a little bit about how launching during that period of time or expanding during that period of time, how you navigated through those unique challenges and the aftermath that we're seeing in your industry and just in a lot of industries when it comes to hiring and keeping folks motivated to continue working in the manner that needs to be done in today's world?
Yeah, it's interesting because we say they were some amazing, exciting times that we would never want to do again, right? Because it was exciting. It was like, what's going on? What's happening? What does this mean? We were probably in our conference room every single hour as governors were making decisions that were impacting the business, and how were we going to react to those decisions that were being made that would possibly affect our business. And in those meetings, I was wearing 2 hats, right? I'm the CEO of 26 operating schools that I had to keep my pulse on and keep the doors open and keep the enrollments and our teachers and all the above. But on the flip side of that, the Celebree franchising was really taking off, because during COVID, there was a lot of people, as you know, that was sitting home rethinking what the second chapter of their life was going to be like. So as we continued to stabilize the business on the Celebree School side with teachers and talent and enrollment, we were also running hard on leads coming in from people that were interested in owning their own Celebree School. And I think every governor and every single state was really fueling that consideration for our potential franchisees, because every single governor was talking about the importance of early education and getting these students back into their own learning environment. And, everybody was talking about there is no economy if parents cannot put their children in a high quality preschool. So whether our potential franchisees or even our current franchisees today weren't thinking about this as an opportunity for their family, they surely were now.
So now, have you been able to kind of create that persona or identify that ideal franchisee? Is it someone who you've been hiring to run schools, in your own kind of empire that you've built? Or is the franchisee a different type of a person because they have to also come to the table with, certain financial capabilities?
Yeah. It's funny, Lee, because, we're actually going into our 3rd year right now. So we've only been franchised. We're going to our 3rd year. And I believe we just broke the 60 franchise award agreements last week with one of our locations going into Boston, Massachusetts. It's funny because, they actually have identified themselves. And I can tell you this, it is folks that, as we mentioned, had a lot of time to sit home and think about what the second chapter looks like. So we're seeing folks like, for example, that would be running an IT department. They would be running a financial department. They are, that's one kind of avatar of our typical franchisee. The second side of that, or the second, avatar is those that are in multiple businesses already and are looking to diversify their family portfolio, especially those industries that have been hit the hardest during a pandemic. A lot of the lodging and hospitality businesses, we're starting to see a lot of families look to us for a Celebree opportunity. But whether you're, whether you are Avatar 1 or Avatar 2, we'll call them, or Family 1 or Family 2, there's very common threads here, and they just have bubbled up to the top, which is these are families that want to leave a legacy for their family. They want to make an impact on their community, and they really have a passion for helping others develop. And that's really Celebree's secret sauce, is our ability to take people, and we call it, we grow people big and small. Take our franchisees, which are then ultimately responsible for taking our teachers and coaching them and developing them and growing them either in their current position or in a position that they're looking forward to graduating to.
So the franchisee doesn't necessarily have to be a former teacher or somebody who has experience in this niche specifically. They can be just somebody who has historically managed people or been in charge of a territory or an organization.
That's correct. I love that question, because we were actually just featured in last month's Entrepreneur magazine with some of the myths of being a Celebree franchisee, and you just mentioned both of them. One, that they had to be a teacher, and or they had to have some sort of educational background. I can tell you, and I tell this to everybody, I have no degree in early education, just 27 years of experience. I could not run a classroom if my life depended on it. But what I'm really, really good at as the CEO here at Celebree is helping others and coaching, developing them, and putting them on a career path and supporting them along the way. And that's really the kind of franchisees that we're looking for. Those that are looking to make an impact on their communities, looking to help others, and helping them through coaching, developing, and elevating them within the school.
Now, are you looking to expand regionally or just anywhere that someone raises their hand and say they're interested? Is there kind of a strategic growth plan moving forward?
Well, it's interesting, because when we first started out, we really wanted to keep things close to home. So, we are based here in Maryland. So when we first started, within the first year, we only wanted to keep it close to home base. So we started expanding and marketing and making the offer in the neighboring states. COVID had a lot to do, Lee, with our expansion. Not only, I think, COVID, but politics. As people started to move out of certain states, let's use New Jersey for an example, and move down into the southern states, into Florida, we followed them. So that really forced us, because of the demand, to expand into the Carolinas, into Florida, and we actually do have a center that's in development right now into Texas.
So it's an exciting time for you. Is it has the challenge of running a franchise organization, obviously it's a different challenge than, founding a school, but are you getting the same kind of rush when a new franchisee comes on board and is finding success in their market as you did when you were kind of launching your own schools?
I love that rush, because it is a rush, and it's so rewarding in so many different ways. Franchising is it's actually more exciting and more of a rush than I thought it was going to be, Lee. I mean, what I was missing on the Celebree School side was the interaction with parents. And when that child that family comes to do their tour and to enroll. Like, I just wasn't a part of that because we have 26 schools and caring for over 3,000 children. So, I was missing that. But now what I'm able to do is meet every single franchisee that wants to come into the Celebree family and hear their story. And I'm meeting, I always say I have connections now in the Philippines and Germany and all around the world because of these families that have that we have welcomed into the Celebree School family. And seeing that, just like watching a parent's face light up, when they find the right school for their child, to see these franchisees' faces light up when they found the opportunity that they've been looking for, and helping them create their own destiny, and in most cases their first time opening their own business, so, for us to have a part in that role, and for me to have a part in that role of helping them accomplish their dreams and their goals, there's nothing else like it.
Now, if somebody wants to learn more about the opportunity, what's the website?
Yeah, they can simply go to celebree.com. That's CELEBREE.com.
And then at that website, will they be also, if they're interested in having children attend the school, is that going to let them know where locations? Is that kind of a universal launching point for folks interested in Celebree?
It is, Lee.
Good stuff. Well, Richard, thank you so much for sharing your story today. You're doing important work, and we appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, this is Lee Cantor. We'll see you all next time on Franchise Marketing Radio.